I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess. If you are new here, welcome. I have a PhD in English literature with a focus on Victorian women novelists, and as you might expect, I love to read. Today I have a tag video for you. If everything shook, a cat jumped on the table, as usual. So like I said, I have a tag video for you today. This is the March Mystery Madness Journey tag created by Kelly from Books I'm Not Reading. Oh, are you gonna come say hi? Say hi. Yeah, so Kelly used the kind of outline of the Shakespeare Journey tag that she created with Jason from Old Blues Chapter and Verse and Nicole from A Day of Small Things 2 years ago now? 3? I don't know. Time doesn't exist. And this has kind of been adapted by multiple people for like several different things. We've had the Victorian literature journey tag, the nonfiction journey tag. And so I'm really happy to have another version of it for mysteries. I wasn't tagged, but I've done all of these so far and I want to continue doing any more that get made. So let's jump in. Question number 1, what was your first experience of reading a mystery and what was it like? So I'm not sure which of these two series was first, but I know I read both of these very early on. And the first is, of course, Nancy Drew, which my grandmother bought me a bunch of these. And they were like the hardcover ones with the yellow spines. I'll have a picture here. And I don't even know how many of them I read. I know I read The Mystery of the Old Clock and The Mystery of the Hidden Stairway. Is that what it says up here? I don't know. I just remember having both of those, but I had others as well. And I really enjoyed these. I also read pretty early on the Cam Jansen series by David A. Adler, which was about a girl with a photographic memory who would say click to remember things, and then she would use that ability to solve mysteries. So my mom read both of these to me, so I was pretty young. I don't know exactly how old. And again, I don't know which of them was first, but I really loved them and read quite a few of both series. Question number 2, has the reading of a mystery novel ever startled you? What was the book and where were you when it happened? Startled is such an interesting word for this because it can mean like frightened, scared, or it can mean just like surprised or shocked. And that's the meaning I'm gonna go with because I don't think I have actually been like scared while reading a mystery novel. Pippin is trying to knock the camera over because he's a jerk and I'm not paying attention to him. Anyway, the mystery novel that like truly has shocked me was Fingersmith by Sarah Waters. And I do remember, yes, Pippin, I see you. He keeps biting me, which is why I keep kicking him off, and then he just comes back. Anyway, this book, I remember very well where I was. I was at my grandparents' house in Florida on vacation, sitting on the lanai, basking in the sun, reclined in a chair, just having a lovely time reading my book. And there is a thing that happens, and that's all I'm gonna say, because you really should just go into this one and have a good time. But I was literally gasped, sat up straight in my chair, and was just like, oh my God, no. It was great. Oh, it was fantastic. And at first I wasn't sure if this really counted as a mystery, but Kelly included it in hers, so I'm including it in mine. But yeah, no, this is such a great book. Everybody go read this. Question number 3, are there any people that have played a significant role in your mystery reading journey? And yes, so I actually took an entire course on mystery as a genre in my undergrad, and we will call that Professor C. She was awesome. And that class like really got me thinking about mystery as a genre because I read mysteries before that, like grew up reading them, enjoyed them, but I'd never really thought about it as a genre itself. and like how it's evolved. So we started with the 19th century detectives, looking at Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. We did not read This Is the Sign of Four. We read A Study in Scarlet and then several short stories. But this is the one that I have a physical copy of, so that's what I'm holding up. And then we also read Edgar Allan Poe's Dupin stories, The Purloined Letter and The Mysteries of the Rue Morgue. And then from there, we moved into the cozy British mysteries, which is Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers. So we read The Mysterious Affair at Styles, The Murderer of Roger Ackroyd, both of which I've just reread recently, and Murder at the Vicarage from Christie. We read Whose Body from Sayers, and then we read A Man Lay Dead, whose author I'm not remembering right now, but will be somewhere up here. And from there, we moved into the American hard-boiled detective. So we read The Maltese Falcon by somebody whose name will be up here, and then The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. And I think that's all we read for hard-boiled detectives. Maybe we read one more that I'm not remembering, but I don't know. And then we moved into the modern detective, and we read The Killing Floor by Lee Child, which is the first of the Jack Reacher series, Mermaid Singing by Val McDermott, and Detective Inspector Huss, which is a Swedish mystery by a woman, Helen, I think it begins with a T. Again, it's going to be up here somewhere. I wish I'd kept that one because that one was really good. But yeah, so this was the first time that I'd like really thought about it as a genre and where do these tropes come from? How have they developed over time? How are the British detectives different from the American detectives? So it was just a phenomenal class, and I loved Professor C. She was great. I actually took 2 classes with her. The other one was a children's lit class that was also phenomenal despite being at 8 a.m. So yeah, no, this mystery genre class really just played a huge part in my reading of mysteries and how I think about them. So we'll always be thankful to Professor C for that. She was great. Question number 4, what is your favorite mystery and why? That's such a hard question. That's so mean. I mean, like, I love the Sherlock Holmes stories. Not so much The Sign of Four, because I can't ever remember what happened in this one. But The Hound of the Baskervilles is my favorite of those, and then the short stories are phenomenal. So I'm like, I could say the Sherlock Holmes stories. But then there's also Agatha Christie and Then There Were None, which is just phenomenal. But also Murder on the Orient Express, phenomenal as well. It's like, okay, so those are options. But then there's Wilkie Collins with A Woman in White and The Moonstone. And these are so good. So good. And then, I mean, what about Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon? Also phenomenal. But then, like, some people call The Secret History by Donna Tartt a mystery. I'm like, is it? I don't know, because it's more of a why done it than a who done it. You know who done it, but I don't know. Is it? And this is one of my favorite books ever. So I'm like, is this my favorite mystery? I don't know. I refuse to choose one. It depends on the time of day, the type of mystery we're talking about, and my general overall feeling in the moment. And that's my answer. Question number 5, which mystery protagonist do you prefer? Marple or Poirot, Nancy Drew or the Hardy Boys, someone else? Sherlock Holmes. It's got to be Sherlock Holmes and Watson. The OG, the OG pair. I love them. I love them so much. Given I also do really like Poirot, but I think Poirot is very much like you wouldn't have Poirot if you did not have Sherlock Holmes. So like it's got to be Sherlock Holmes. He's just great. great, okay? He's great. I love him. Question number 6. Which mystery do you wish you could read again for the first time? No spoilers. So this is great because I actually don't have to wish, because I don't know what it is specifically about mystery books, but they pretty much just go out of my head pretty quickly. Like The Sign of Four. I have read this book so many times, like at least 3, possibly 4 or 5. And I cannot tell you what happens in this book at all. Like, aside from I know that we meet Mary Morstan, who Watson gets with. But like, that's it. I can tell you nothing more about this book. I've studied this book in a class. My Victorian Gothic class for my PhD. Yeah, still can't tell you what happens in it. I don't know. I have recently started reading the Poirot books in order, and as I said, I read 2 of those for my mystery class, The Mysterious Affair at Styles and Murder of Roger Ackroyd. Mysterious Affair at Styles, like that was I was like, oh, this is practically the first time I'm reading it because I don't know what happened, aside from it takes place at a big house. No clue. No idea who the murderer was. I was like, well, I don't know. We better solve the mystery, Poirot, because I don't remember. The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, I at least remembered who it was, but like all the details, gone. Nothing. There's nothing there. There was nothing there, okay? So, and like, I mean, I feel like there's some that are gonna like always stick out to me, like Murder on the Orient Express or And Then There Were None. But I just recently read those, so I'm sure that like give it a few years and I might remember who did it, but all the details gone. The Guest List by Lucy Foley, I read that a few years ago. 2 or 3? I don't remember anything. It's just gone. And like this happens with some books other than mysteries. It happened with Mary Barton by Elizabeth Gaskell, but it happens way more often with mysteries. And I don't know if it's just my brain being like, well, the whole point is to be surprised, so we're just gonna forget that, or what? But I don't have to wish to read one again for the first time. I can pretty much just do that with any mystery that I've already read. Question number 7, what mystery or mystery series would you most like to see adapted for the big or small screen and why? Do you have any casting choices in mind? What is your favorite adaptation of a mystery or mystery series? And now I'm looking at my answers for this question. I'm like, I forgot to mention this series in my potential favorites. The Dublin Murder Squad series by Tana French. So there is an adaptation of it. I just haven't seen it. But I really want to because those books are so good. And I don't remember the details of those either. Except for the one that I just read last year. But that's okay. Yeah, I would really like to see that because I think that'll be good. I also really want to watch the Poirot TV series. I have seen the more recent film adaptation of Murder on the Orient Express, and like it was fun, but I had some problems with it. And I'm really hoping that the TV series will just have truer to the book adaptation. No, I don't have any casting choices for anything. And also these have been adapted, so it's like, can't think of one that I would want to see that hasn't been adapted yet. The Guest List would probably be fun as an adaptation, actually. If somebody hasn't done that yet. That would be a good one to adapt. What is my favorite adaptation of a mystery series? I think I'm gonna have to go with BBC's Sherlock. Look, I know there's problems with it. Is it the best representation of who Holmes is in the books? No, probably not. Definitely not. However, Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman have such good chemistry together, and I love both of them in those roles. So good. Do I have issues with what they did to Irene Adler? Yes. Yes. So many. But it's still such a good series, except for the last season. We pretend that didn't happen. That just didn't happen. Like the first 2 seasons and then like the first half of the 3rd season. Excellent, excellent, excellent TV. And they're just fun, and they take the original stories and they twist them around and do something new with them. Like the first episode of the whole show, A Study in Pink, is a really, like, takes aspects of A Study in Scarlet, but it's completely different. It's great. I really like it. I don't know. So yeah, no, I do really like BBC's Sherlock. Despite its problems. And despite what they did to Irene Adler. Oh, you know what I want to see for an adaptation of a mystery? I want to see an adaptation of Sherlock Holmes with book-accurate Irene Adler, who is an opera singer from New Jersey. Give her a New Jersey accent, you cowards. That's what I want, okay? I want Irene Adler from New Jersey like she's supposed to be. That's what I want. Do I have a casting choice in mind? No. But yeah, someone from New Jersey. Question number 8. Do any mysteries intimidate you? If yes, what mystery or mystery series and why? Not really. Like, the Poirot series is a little intimidating just because it's so long. Agatha Christie in general is intimidating because she wrote so much. But they're not hard to read. And I can't really think of any that I would consider intimidating. So no. Question number 9. What tips would you give to readers hesitant to read mysteries? It's such a big genre that you will be able to find something. And like, it spans across different genres. You can have mysteries that are fantasy, mysteries that are sci-fi, historical fiction mysteries, more literary fiction mysteries, like mysteries with romance. Like, there's just such a wide range that you will be able to find something you'll like. Just think like, okay, what are the other types of books that I like to read? Oh, I like to read fantasy. Well, let's look for some fantasy mysteries or sci-fi or whatever. Yeah, it's just such a big genre, such a wide, vast genre that there's something for everybody. Question number 10, have you ever helped solve a crime or been part of something that sounds like it could have been in a mystery novel? Tell us about it. I have never helped solve a crime, no. God. Keep me out of that. I have not directly been involved in anything that sounds like it could have come out of a mystery novel, but members of my family have. So I have been involved kind of tangentially, like hearing about the stuff or having been involved, having met the people involved. So the biggest incident I'm thinking of, and I guess it's okay to share this because the people involved are either passed away or just completely out of our lives. So I can share it. My brother dated a girl, and her name was Sarah Lynn, and she was from Mississippi, and she was studying to be a nurse, and she had that Southern accent. She was constantly trying to get my brother to go to church. And we're like, yeah, okay. So it turned out she was a stripper, which yeah, okay. She was working her way through nursing school. Whatever, no judgment. That's fine. Until one day I don't even remember how this got found out, but she had a huge bag full of money. There was a gun involved. Her and my brother were arguing, and it was a whole big hullabaloo in which my aunt had to sneak into his apartment, which is an in-law apartment on my grandmother's house. She sneaks into the apartment to get the gun, hides it in the woods, and then my dad went to pick up the gun and take it away. Turns out it was a fake gun. So it turns out Sarah Lynn was not from Mississippi. She was from New Hampshire. Her name was not Sarah Lynn. And I don't know if she was going to nursing school. I saw some of her textbooks, so I'm assuming she was actually going to nursing school, but and she was a stripper, but she was scamming one of her older gentleman clients out of his money by telling him that like she was gonna be with him, like he just had to give her X amount of money and then they could be together. Wild. So that's where the big bag of money came from. My brother decided he wanted in on the scam, and somehow the fake gun got involved as a way to try to do that. I don't even know. It was crazy. It sounds like something out of a mystery novel. They broke up, and then we never saw her again. And then my aunt and our cousin that live in the South were like, really? You guys couldn't tell it was a fake Southern accent? How long have you known us? And we were like, so yeah, like faked identity, stolen money, a gun that turned out to be fake. It was a wild incident. And it would be right at home in a mystery novel, I feel like. But yeah, I was like on the fringes of that. Like I had met her and I was hearing all about it from everybody, but I was not directly involved. It is an excellent story though. I wish I remembered more of the details. I was pretty young when it happened. So, and nobody's told that story for a long time. Maybe at the next holiday dinner. So question number 11 is to tag some other booktubers. I'm going to tag Katie from Books and Things because I know she reads mysteries and I would be very interested to hear her answers to some of these questions. I don't know who else reads mysteries. So if you read mysteries and you want to do this tag, you can consider yourself tagged by me. You can also leave your answers to some of the questions down in the comments below, along with have you read any of the books I've talked about? What did you think of them? Thank you so much to Kelly for making this tag. It was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more of my bookish content. It has been great chatting with you. I will see you soon. Bye.